This is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and I have one question. How long can I record 4K 60 videos before the phone overheats? And it will overheat, I understand that. But this is a $1,400 phone, okay? I'm not gonna hype this up. It has to be good, okay? But I'm expecting to go beyond 25 minutes. Anything less than that, it is unacceptable, in my opinion. Look at the temperature of my room right now. I have 62.6 Fahrenheit. If I convert that to Celsius, it would be 17 Celsius. Okay, 17.1 Celsius. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the phone, so you see it is brand new. It hasn't been opened yet. I'm gonna open the phone, I'm gonna take it out. So I may do the unboxing. Oh no, we are here, so you see that it is new. And I'm going to pause the video because I'm not gonna have you waiting here until the phone, does 20-30 minutes, hopefully. So I'm gonna pause the video. I'm not gonna edit the video, I'm just going to pause it and then resume the video after 25 minutes, because I'm expecting to go well beyond 25 minutes. And then if I see the phone keeps recording, then I will just pause the video again and see what's the limit. That's what I want to find out, because the internet is full of hype about this phone, but we don't have a gamer's nexus of the cell phones. That's what we need. We need somebody who is actually doing real testing and not having a side-by-side picture of the phone with a $5,000 camera just to hype up the camera of the phone. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to be careful to not destroy the packaging just in case I need to return it. I'm not returning this phone, man. I've been without a phone, without a proper phone, for like 2 weeks. So I cannot return the phone, man. I hope it works and it doesn't have any issues. So I don't have to return it, because I really need a phone for everything. For my work, for everything. I cannot live without a cell phone. So let's see. This is the phone. Man, this is big. Holy crap. The screen size is supposed to be the same as the Pixel 7 Pro. This is what you have in the box. Nothing. So the phone was like that in the box. Here you have the cables inside. And then you have this protection here. That's the phone. I'm going to peel this protection. See if you can see it on the reflection there. Okay. I like it. It has like a square shape. So the corners, the edges of the screen are not as rounded. I mean, they are rounded, but they are not as they are more square-like. See, it's more square-like than the Pixel 7 Pro. And I would say it weighs about the same. So I'm gonna turn it on. It should come with some battery, some charging already. Because if I have to charge the phone, then I would need to wait until the phone cools down. Because, see, first time turning on. I would need to wait until the phone cools down, because that is going to affect how long the phone can record. So let's see how much battery it has out of the box. 61%. That's okay. That should be enough to do some testing. 61%. So I'm going to pause the video here, and then I will hit record, and let's see how long it lasts. So I'm going to start recording right now. I just wanted to show you the options available. So you have 8K 30, 4K 60, 4K 30, 1080p 60, 1080p 30, 720p 30. So I'm going to select 4K 60 and I'm going to start recording and see how long. I change the resolution of the display. So the only thing I changed out of the box was the resolution, because it was at 1080p, so I changed it to 1440p. Everything else is on the default settings. So one thing that I want to mention while I am recording the video is that I see a lot of lag when I move the camera. So you see, if I move the camera, I see a lot of lag. Like, there's a lot of processing going on, because you see the delay when you move. When I move the phone, you see the result on the screen later. There is a lot of input lag. I mean, not input lag. I mean, there's a delay, and that's processing that the phone is doing for sure. There's a lot of processing going on here. So yeah, just an observation. Let me also show you what is inside the box here. I didn't show you this part. Let's see what we have here. Probably the cables. So nothing else. So this is probably the USB-C cable. Let's see. So this is the tool to open the for the SIM card, the slot for the SIM card. That's nice to have. The Google Pixel 7 Pro didn't have that tool, didn't come with the tool. And then you have the cable, USB-C cable. So it is USB-C to USB-C cable. That's it. I also want to point out that, of course, we don't have settings on a cell phone like on a camcorder. I'm recording right now using a camcorder. You have, shutter speed, the exposure, a lot of options. And of course, on the cell phone, all of that is done automatically. And I can clearly see how the phone is changing the exposure. For example, if I point the camera to the light that I am using right now, it changes the exposure, so it is not clipping that white, and everything else becomes darker. And then if I point somewhere else, then it is bright. So that is something good, but not perfect at the same time, because let's say you are a professional and you know exactly what you want to record. Maybe the phone processing is doing something that you don't want the phone to do, basically. But maybe there is an app that would allow you to control shutter speed, if there are any shutter speed settings that you can use on the camera, and exposure and all of that, the gain of the camera. So I don't know if there is a third-party app that will allow you to do that. I'm not I doubt. So yeah, it's processing. The phone is doing all of that automatically, and that makes sense. It's a phone, it's not a professional camera. But having a 200 megapixel camera and having control over all the settings for somebody who is a professional on the go, it would be definitely very good. But I will figure it out if there's an app to control that. So right now I am on 7 minutes. So let's see, after 25 I will come back. I turn off the lights on my room to see how the phone is recording in low light conditions, because that is a big part of the marketing. Having a 200 megapixel camera, you have 16 pixels making giving you information for one of the 4K pixels, and it's supposed to give you a better low light performance. And it looks okay when I turn off the lights, but it looks a lot brighter than what it is in front of me. So if you have control over the settings, maybe you will lower the gain of the recording, because you don't want the darkness to be brighter than it should, because that is going to add noise, unnecessary noise. So if it's dark, it's dark. You don't want to increase the gain of the camera. So it looks grainy, and that's normal. That's okay. I mean, I have this camcorder, and yeah, it looks grainy on the darkness especially. So, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. The phone is trying to see on the darkness, and it is boosting the near black more than it should. It looks brighter than it should, and that's not a good thing. It's a good thing if you're trying to see on the darkness, but it's not accurate, okay? And I'm sure if you have settings, you can get a better result. So I will definitely figure it out if there's a way to adjust some of the settings. Of course, you can always edit the video and all of that, but without editing, if you can change the settings of the recording. Okay, so we are over 20 minutes, and it feels a little bit warm, not hot. It is definitely not as cold as doing nothing, but I don't think it's going to overheat, because it is not getting hot. It's looking good. I'm expecting more than 30 minutes. Let's see. Another thing I want to comment is that the phone, it seems like it is trying to blur the background. So I've seen with DSLR cameras and professional cameras, and professionals wanting a big sensor, they talk about how good it is to blur the background. I don't know why. If that is something that happens and there's no way to avoid that, okay, you have a big sensor, the background looks blurry because you're focused on an object, okay, that's just the way it is. But me personally, you know that I do not find blur attractive at all. I do not want any blur. And I understand, artistically, if you want to take a picture of a bird, you want everything else blurry. I understand. Okay, I still don't like it. So here's the thing. The phone with the processing is trying to always focus in something and then blur the background. And it looks natural sometimes, but sometimes it looks like the blur, it is not progressive. The blur, it is like, okay, you have this plane, and then you have another plane of blur, basically. So it doesn't look a progressive blur, basically. And the problem I see with that, not in terms of the quality on how good that effect is, the problem I see with that in the recording is that when I move from different objects that are going to be focused, the recording looks stuttery. So it looks like it has judder. So it is jumping. So the recording, the video doesn't look like a smooth like this. It looks like it's jumping a little bit like doing that. See, so it is a smooth and it does and it's because of that processing delay. But I am not sure if that problem is going to be present on the recording or if it's just on the preview, what I'm seeing right now on the screen. Okay, so from where I started, speaking about the phone feeling a little bit hotter, it feels hotter, like significantly hotter right now. After 3 minutes after 20, it feels like it is getting warmer. Okay, so I'm going to pause again and see if we can get to 30 minutes. Man, I messed it up. I hit the power button, but immediately I turned it back on and hit record again. It was 27 minutes when I hit that power button. Man, yeah, I'm not repeating this video. So yeah, 27 minutes. Let's see how much longer. I mean, in terms of the phone getting hot, it is not hot. It is okay, it feels like it is working, but it is not hot at all. And I don't think that stopping the video for a moment, like, I mean, it was like seconds. Like, I just, because I'm holding the phone like this, I hit the power, so then the screen locked, and then I just turn it back on again, just start recording, man. But yeah, let's see. It was 27 minutes when it stopped, and it's right now 2 minutes. So I think it's going to go beyond 30 minutes without issues. So 30 minutes would be okay. I mean, I am okay with that. It is acceptable because you have, DSLR cameras that they are lasting about 30 minutes, and they are professional, photo cameras, not camcorders. Okay, so I think I am already okay. Okay, I'm okay with it so far. But let's see how much longer it can go. Man, what a mess. Yeah, just getting tired of holding this thing and I hit the power button. But yeah, I think it should still be okay. Let's see. It's already gonna do 30 minutes because it was 27 when it stopped, and right now it's 2 minutes and a half. So it's gonna go over 30 minutes. Let's see how much longer it will go. So 16 minutes and a half. I don't think it's going to overheat. I am happy, man, because the temperature is the same. So I don't see any temperature changes since last time, where I said I feel it is a little bit hotter. Is the same. The temperature hasn't changed, and I don't think it's going to overheat. So right now, 17 minutes. I am expecting going to half an hour, and I mean half an hour back to back. I think that will be very good. But I'm going to just leave that recording running. I have other things to do. The thing is, I don't want to step away, because then if it stops, then I don't know when it stopped. But I don't think it's going to stop because it is not getting hotter. So I would need to test gaming to see if the phone is going to overheat. It should overheat, but one thing that is good about this phone is that the chip is overclocked. So I guess that if they are overclocking the chip, is because they are confident that it is not overheating. Otherwise, you cannot overclock if the device is overheating. For gaming specifically, they overclock that processor for gaming. So if it's overheating when you're gaming, you cannot overclock. So there is some cooling here, or maybe the chip is just fantastic. But yeah, I don't think it's going to overheat, man. So far, right now, I mean, if the recording stopped right now at 20 minutes, and I did 27 minutes and then 20 minutes right away back to back, I would be okay with it. But I don't think it's going to overheat, and this is very good, man. The Google Pixel 7 Pro, I mean, I was struggling. And the temperature of my room in that moment was a lot cooler than now. Right now, with me in the room and the computer turned on, is 19 Celsius. So when I started the recording, it was like 17. But your body, the computer, is adding heat. So when I was using the Google Pixel 7 Pro, it was a lot cooler in the room, and I was struggling to record a 20-minute video, and I was feeling clearly the phone is overheating. Clearly, this one, I don't think is going to overheat at all. That would be very good, man. And I mean, this phone, it has to be good, man. It's so expensive. So yeah, so far I'm not returning it. I didn't want to return it anyway, but yeah, I'm not returning the phone, and I think it's looking pretty good. But let's see, 20 minutes, I'm gonna come back. 27 minutes, back to back, no overheating. I'm impressed. I mean, the temperature is still the same. I don't think it's going to overheat. And it's not gonna overheat. So I think I'm wasting my time, man. I don't know. Maybe I got a bad Google Pixel 7 Pro, man. Maybe. I did my research and the phones are supposed to overheat. Maybe did they just killed it with this phone? Let me know if you have. I mean, this is not to make a battle of this phone better than the other, but just trying to understand if that's is that something normal, is that something that this phone excels. I mean, they improve the cooling or something. If you have an iPhone, and I'm not saying it because Apple versus none of that, please. If you have an iPhone 13 Pro Max, 14 Pro Max, can you do this testing? Like, just hit record, go do something else, come back after half an hour and see if it's still recording. Maybe you will. If you can do that testing and let me know in the comments how long. I mean, if you have an iPhone, if you have a Google Pixel 7 Pro, maybe my phone was a bad one. If you have any phone, basically, any phone you have that can record 4K 60, because 4K 60 is very demanding. Tell me how long can the phone record? Like, if you just hit record, and of course it's going to depend the weather conditions, the temperature of the room, the humidity, all of that. If you are under the sun, of course it's gonna be a lot different. Of course, summer day, you enter the car, it's very hot, it's going to overheat. Of course, there's no way. I mean, if this phone doesn't overheat under the sun with that summer weather conditions, I would be like, wow, this is just incredible. But right now, I mean, the temperature, it's just not changing. I'm touching the phone, it's not changing. So I think I'm wasting my time. It's already half an hour, back to back, 27 minutes. I by mistake I hit the power, then I powered that back on because I have the phone in my hand, and I hit record again, 4K 60. It's not non-stop. So I have to go to sleep already. I don't want to stay here until the phone overheats, but it's not going to overheat because the temperature is not getting hotter. So it's the same, it's stable. So I don't think it's going to overheat. So I would need to test gaming and see if playing a game, because it's doing overclocking, it will overheat. Maybe. But this is already very good, man. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this. I was expecting half an hour, maybe 35, 40 minutes, and then I see the phone getting hotter and getting the message, hey, it is too hot, and the recording just stopping. But this is very good. This is very good because, I mean, the phone is recording very nice. I mean, it has a 200 megapixel camera. So I think I would like to have control over the gain, the shutter speed, and all of that, because near black it looks too bright. But it's okay. It's not terrible. It's okay. It doesn't look too grainy, but it does look grainy. Of course I'm going to record the screen, the LG C1, the plasma TV. I am very interested in recording super slow motion, like 960 frames per second. That's gonna be very nice. And see the HDR. So one thing I'm very interested in testing on this phone is the HDR recordings. See if it's like fake HDR. I'm expecting the HDR to be just HLG, which is basically the phone is recording on SDR and it's using processing to make the colors more saturated. And by the way, I did change from vivid colors on the screen settings to natural colors. So I'm expecting the HDR recordings of the phone to be the same crap as the Google Pixel 7 Pro, but maybe it will not. So, and I also want to compare the HDR quality of the screen itself with the LG C1, because this is supposed to have a 1750 nits, so 1750 nits maximum peak brightness. So I'm not expecting to see that, but I want to compare that with the LG C1, see which one looks more impactful on HDR. And also, I will be able to tell you the tone mapping that the phone is doing, because I can open videos that have like 10,000 nits, you know, the max CLL is like 10,000 nits, and I can see the white clipping. So if I see the whites not clipping at all, then the phone is doing tone mapping with that target. So I want to know what is the phone doing in terms of the tone mapping for HDR. And I will be able to tell you that for sure. And so yeah, I want to test the screen and compare that with the LG C1. But yeah, man, I'm impressed. I was not expecting this to be that good, especially because the temperature is not changing. I know it's not gonna overheat. It's not gonna overheat because it is not changing. It's not getting hotter. So that's very good. That's very good. The temperature of my room is very good. 19.8 Celsius, so that's 20 Celsius. In Fahrenheit, 67.6. But this is very, very good. I'm gonna just leave it recording. I'm gonna stop the video because I don't want to make it too long. It's 27 minutes long already. So I'm just gonna leave it there recording, 34 minutes. And yeah, if I just go to sleep, it's just gonna run out of memory. It has 512 gigabytes, but yeah, 8 hours of recording. I'm not expecting this to be able to record that long. It's gonna stop for some reason, and then I'm not going to know why it stopped. But yeah, I have to go to sleep. I was not expecting this to last that long. So let me know if you have any phone that can record 4K 60, if you can do this testing, like just hit record, just leave it there. And again, just, you know, be honest to see if we can get a good data, you know, like something that's useful. Not be like, oh, it's an iPhone, so it can't record forever or something like that. Be honest, you know. If it stopped because it's overheating, that's normal and that's expected. I was expecting this to overheat, but it is not. So yeah, let me know if you have experience testing your phone, if it overheats, when, how long you can record, and yeah, because I'm just curious about that, because I was so upset with the Pixel 7 Pro. That thing was overheating, but maybe it was my sample. Maybe you have a Google Pixel 7 Pro and it's perfect and it doesn't overheat. But mine, it was terrible. Terrible. I was freezing on this room, and the phone, I was struggling to record the videos. And yeah. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. I am impressed, of course. It's a $1,400 phone, but I was not expecting the recordings to last this long. 27 minutes and 36 minutes so far, back to back. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.